is a taskmaster if you give yourself over fully. Love will require you to keep interrogating both your ego and your soul. Love will require more of you than even you can require of yourself. And yet, love, that place of the open heart, is the closest to any vibration there is of the divine. Indeed, some of you have heard me say over the years that love is what makes the cosmos work. Love is what makes the stars shine. It's what binds everything together. It's even the force that holds all those little particles together so that atoms can materialize. And they, of course, form larger units that form larger units. And the entire phenomenal world, believe it or not, is held together by love. Now, when you live in difficult times, and I suggest that these are fairly difficult times, where there's a lot of fighting and a lot of demonstrations where people don't seem to care much about each other, where you see all kinds of examples that appear there is no love. Love is an interesting thing. It's always there, whether or not it's recognized. It is what makes the human heart beat. It is what allows you to reach out, to take compassion on another being, and to wish him or her well along that journey. The truth is, even though the journeys look quite different when viewed from the physical level, there is only one journey. It is a journey that propels one by love to return to love. And again, while Valentine's Day is more to celebrate erotic love, that tends to be a force that helps people open to another person. And if people did not have that, there would be fewer people who are able to be present for another person. But much more than that is divine love. And it is divine love that runs the cosmos, that holds everything in the phenomenal world together, and that calls you, each of you, to move deeper into yourself, to move deeper into that oceanic presentation of love. The tricky part is that to really enter that ocean, you have to leave the ego on the bank, because you see, the ego is only invested in personal love. The ego only knows love as an energy that flows between two people. I love you, and perhaps you love me. And between these two poles, a powerful energy can be flowed that allows us to come together in one way or another. It might be, it can be the humor of someone telling a joke that's funny to everyone, and everyone in their laughter comes open and the heart expands. Or it can be a more generalized love. When we talk about loving all sentient beings, for many people, the idea of loving all sentient beings is much easier than actually and practically loving their neighbor. Because you see, the ego has to put up with all the things it considers the faults of the neighbor, or all the things he or she doesn't see, doesn't understand, doesn't care about. And so this notion of love being something that flows between you and me, it does exist at that level, but only so long as we have this sense of a self. Because without that, there can't be an I and there can't be a you. There's no poles between which to exchange this energy. And yet all have access to the oceanic expanse of love that supports this cosmos as well as each one of you. Indeed, it is the stuff of real spiritual growth. All spiritual traditions acknowledge it, and all teach that their members or their students or that their disciples learn to soften the heart and open it to other people. Maybe open it to all beings. In Tibet, there was always this, we were always taught as children that any living being might have been our mother in a prior life. And I know recently there have been some movies made that kind of make light of that, like these Tibetans were not kind of foolish to think. They showed, in one, they show a building of a structure for His Holiness. And they see all these workmen carefully picking up the worms that are in the soil and moving them. And the one American who was there says, "Why are you doing that?" And they said, "Well, this could have been my mother in a previous life." And they kind of make light of that, like it's not too intelligent. And yet there is something, you see, life is one thing. Sometimes it takes the form of an earthworm. Other times it takes the form of a human being. But what sustains it all is one thing. And when you open to divine consciousness, you only find one thing. And it is love with the capital L.